Nice to meet you. So, how'd you start? Like, tell me about you. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in New London, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire?
Yeah, moved to Boston after college.
Okay.
And we've lived in Massachusetts ever since.
So, what got you interested in amplifiers and music and guitars and all that when you were
Well,
young?
I played my guitar my whole life.
Okay.
My dad was like a big musician, a concert pianist, had his doctorate in voice. So he just like was like, you're doing music, you know? And I had me playing saxophone, violin, all these instruments that I never really connected with. And finally I was like, hey, like, can I just do the guitar?
Yeah.
You know, and they were like, sure, let's do it.
So was your dad like a classical pianist? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So then what brought you to making amplifiers?
So I'd been doing guitar my entire life. It was like my biggest passion.
Yeah.
I was always really big into like acoustic guitars and stuff. And my interest shifted over to electric and wasn't making a lot of money at work. So started like buying and selling gear.
Yeah.
And I would find like deals on Craigslist and just kind of resell gear and stuff. And it got old driving around. So I was like, hey, what can I do to like make money with gear and not have to drive to like pick old, Gibson Skylarks up and resell them? So I started rewrapping cabinets. So someone would bring me, a black Tolex cabinet, and I would rewrap it and make it look like this. So I was doing like Mesa Boogies and old Marshalls, and we started doing restorations. But yeah, a lot of it was just like re-Tolex work.
So do you have like a background in textiles?
I do not. No, I figured all of it out just like from hard work and the internet.
Do you have a background in electrical engineering?
I figured that out on the internet as well.
My boy Dave Friedman, same thing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's a lot of information out there.
So you started rewrapping stuff and you were like, I want to make amplifiers? Or?
Yep. Yeah, so I ended up stumbled across a resource online called the Amp Garage, where guys were making Dumble and Trainwreck amps, like clones, and I was like, man, this is really cool. And the whole Dumble style thing, like there was all this drama and secretism behind like the Dumble stuff, so it really piqued my interest. It was like so sexy. So yeah, there was enough information where you could build your own Dumble style amp. So it took me 6 weeks, and I built one. And it was so great, man. Like it just kind of like, I rediscovered guitar, It was like such like an organic connection. You could really feel the amp differently, and it was like the sound coming through, it was like what you heard on CDs, So it really got me hooked. And I was already kind of like doing the cabinet thing and the restoration work and stuff, so I started building my own cabinets, and it really just came out with like my own line of amps. And I only had a couple models, but they started selling online. And at the time I felt like I was just like printing money, you know what I mean? Because I was working full time, and it was just like, I was a sales rep at Sprint, and I was trying to figure out how to make some extra cash, and just started building like an amp or two a week, and they were selling, man, and it was really great.
Was it like jazzers buying or like blues guys?
Yeah, mostly it was people on the forums.
Like
so,
Rig Talk? Or
Rig Talk or Gear Page. Yep. So word got out. We were making clones. We had this amp, which is a clone of the John Mayer 2-Rock Signature that came out in 2007. That was like 13-14 grand at the time. So I built a clone and was selling it for like 2,500 bucks.
Well, that's
like,
even down from Dumble, where you were cloning 125,000.
Yeah, right.
That's so cool, man. So this really truly was something where you got interested in it, and then, quite frankly, because of the internet, you were able to get that out.
Absolutely. So yeah, man. It took a long time. Like it was 15 years ago when we first started the brand and doing that restoration work. But yeah, it's been fantastic.
So how many amplifiers do you have total?
We have 7 different amplifiers now. They all do different things. There's a little bit of overlap, like having like 2-channel amps, clean and dirty. Most of them have reverb, but they all do something real special. So like, we've got an amp with trem, we've got an amp that does the Marshall thing, we've got an amp that does the Stevie Ray Vaughan thing, and then we do like the Robin Ford thing. So like, all the different kind of Dumble variations are covered in our product line. And it was all these customizations options that I was able to do because I was building my own cabinets. And as I evolved the brand, and we don't do the cabinet work anymore, I actually outsourced it, but we kept all the customizations. So when you order from Sweetwater now, you can still get all the custom stuff that I've always done. All the colors of suede, the crocodiles, the Tolex, all the different grill cloths. We're doing the custom stuff now. The Hokusai, lotus flowers, everything. Yeah.
So how many people do you have like works for Amplified Nation?
We got a team of 5 guys in a production facility that help us build. You know, some of them are prepping and getting ready for the build. Some of the guys are actually doing the amp builds. We got a 1099 guy that does the website. I'm doing sales, running the company as a general manager. My wife's doing marketing. So yeah, there's 8 of us total. But it's cool. You know, we built it from absolutely nothing. And the lessons you get from all that experience, you know, I don't know how I would do this now, having not made like all those mistakes and like figuring all the things out over so many years.
It's killer, man, and it's it really is straight up American dream when you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
man.
it's just like, dude, working for yourself.
Yeah.
Making it happen.
Take your side hustle, quitting your job. You know, all of a sudden you got an amp company.
Yeah, that's killer. Are all these 3/4 inch Baltic birch?
Yeah, actually, we do Italian poplar.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very similar, but it's a little bit lighter. It's called light ply.
Okay.
So it's like simulated Baltic birch, but it's Italian poplar. So.
And in the beginning, were you making these cabinets yourself?
Yes.
Like you were dovetailing them and everything?
I was not dovetailing. We were doing locking rabbits.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I was still running them through the table saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I was doing all the cabinetry myself. You know, it really slowed me down a lot because it would take, you know, 6 or 7 hours to build the amp, and I would spend 3 or 4 hours building the cabinet. So when I outsourced this stuff in 2020, it really let us scale. You know, so I was still working by myself at that time, and being able to take all those extra hours and just devote it to amp building. You know,
There's a lot of risk in woodworking like that too. I don't know if you have a saw stop in the shop or not.
I do not. No.
And it is risky business, man.
Dude, I have a 1973 Powermatic 66.
Really?
3-phase table saw. It is an absolute beast.
The thing must weigh like 3 tons.
It's 800 pounds. Yeah, it's a monster. You know, the thing that I always worried about the most was the sawdust.
Breathing it in.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Cool, man. Thank you, sir.
Bro.
Awesome.